2-minute closing.
Thank you. I'm grateful to the hosts and moderators and to the voting public, all of you, for the opportunity to speak before you here and make a case why the next Congress needs new leadership. And from my statements here and other places, I think you know I'm a strong supporter of equality for all, pro-choice, pro-education, pro-living wage. I'll fight for universal health care, accurate elections to create green-collar jobs as we build a new energy-secure San Diego and light the way for the rest of the country. But before we take those steps towards the promised land, we have to deal with the big issues at hand: the loss of open government, the degradation of the rule of law, an impasse over an immoral military occupation. You know, it's devastating not just to the occupied, it's devastating to the occupiers, to us. And I think in the face of this, we've had a Congress that's proven itself too willing to stay on the sidelines, to sort of smile politely and run out the clock. I am not satisfied with that response. I reject that status quo, that failure to act, that failure to stand up to an administration that's damaged our rights and has nearly destroyed America's credibility as a force for leadership and peace. And many of you have come to me and agree, and I think we need to move and end this illegal, immoral occupation of Iraq. It is bankrupting us economically, it is bankrupting us spiritually, and we have to move with determination now. So let me state for the record, the slaughter of civilians, murder, theft, and torture are wrong and must be opposed. The invasion of Iraq was illegal, immoral, and wrong. The continuing, ongoing occupation of Iraq is illegal, it's immoral, it's wrong. And when our incumbent Democrats vote with Republicans to extend further war funding, that is also wrong. But there's something changing here. You can feel it. I think we're rediscovering the soul of our Democratic Party. And we proclaim, you know, our strength is not in the power of our weaponry. It is in the moral force of our ideals, those ideals voiced by progressives like the late Senator Paul Wellstone, Barbara Lee in Berkeley, our own Bob Filner. Doing the right thing, that is to our advantage. That is our bedrock. That is our national security. That is our purpose as mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, as Democrats and citizens. And I look forward to serving you in Congress, and I would be honored to represent the 53rd.
I thought the rousing applause comes at the end. Okay, that's it. That is it, and I expect to hear the same for Susan. Go ahead, Susan. That's not a nice thing to say. Susan, you're on.
Thank you, and I want to thank all of you again for being here and for your passion, for your excitement, because we need you engaged, and so stay that way. I appreciate it. I think as you've heard today, and you know, it's been difficult, I'm sure Mike would agree, to answer some of these questions in 1 minute because they are important, they have depth. What I've learned in politics are things are not always as simple as they seem, and they are related. So our economy, global warming, healthcare, how we deal with education, of course, how we deal with all of things is very, very important. And we need leadership to be able to put those together and to see the bigger picture. And that's something that I've tried very, very hard to do. I told you that one of the things I've worked on so hard is to be sure that we don't call on these wonderful men and women in this country, and they've done everything we've asked them to do, when we've needed other skills and other problem-solving techniques to work in any different country that they've served in. We need to find another way to do that. I've seen that up close and personal in Iraq and Afghanistan, and that's why I care so much about finding this alternative way, and we finally, in this bill that we just passed out, have a way to move that issue forward. And I'm very excited about that, and I'm glad to have been a leader on that as well. So it does come down to elections, and that's what this is about. It's going to be an exciting election. I feel that the next president of the United States, and I certainly hope that it's one of two candidates, and I believe most of us see that it's going in one direction right now, will be successful, because I believe that they will be able to address these issues, and I want to be there to address them, to address those issues certainly with them. This is an exciting time for all of us as Democrats in San Diego. So I urge you to stay engaged and involved. I also want to tell you, one of the toughest votes I had was on the war in Iraq. I voted no, but I also have to tell you that with my heart and my head, I have supported the funding because I believe that it does support our troops. And in my capacity...
Hey, that is not fair. It really is not. It's just like I had asked you to hold your applause till the end. I do expect you all to applaud for Susan also, please. Okay, let's go.
When people ask you...
Betty, I think
We're finished.
Betty, you had another moment.
It's all right.
Yes.
I was going to tell you, when people sometimes ask, what vote are you most proud of? The no vote on Iraq I was proud of, but I also believe, and I know how you feel and I appreciate that if I had voted the other way on the troops because they're still in harm's way, I can't pull them out. I'd like to do that. I can't pull them out. I would not have been as proud of that vote, and many of my colleagues have told me the same thing. Thank you.
If any of you want to know who they are going to support for president or anything like that, or anything else, ask outside. We are officially finished.